everyone. Welcome back to my home studio. My name is Jane Fairorth. I'm a teacher at West End Yoga Studio in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We have a number of great teachers there. Unfortunately, we can't be in the studio with you, so we are practicing in our home studios and sharing them with you. So I hope that some of you are at home, or many of you are at home doing this with us. Until we can see each other again in the studio, we'll have to see each other here. So for today's practice, it's just going to be a nice simple practice to move the body, focusing on moving between strengthening poses and balancing poses, finding the differences between strength and fluidity. Recognizing that both of those things are necessary for you to have a balanced life. So there are some times where you're going to feel strong, there's some times when you're going to feel fluid, and really it's nice when there's a balance in between the two things and you can just move easily through your life. So come into a seated position, anything that's comfortable for you, and a few breaths in and out. Just recognizing what's so for your body and your breath today. Not trying to change that in any dramatic way, just working with what is available to you. So nice full breaths in where you feel the lungs expand completely top to bottom, front to back, side to side. And as you exhale, a compression of your lungs towards each other. Front to back, side to side, top to bottom. And then add some movement. Maybe it's a gentle swaying side to side. Letting the breath be the guide. Keeping the sitting bones heavy as the upper body sways. So the stability right now is the sitting bones on the ground and the heaviness of your lower body. And the fluidity is in the upper body, just moving easily. Maybe open the collarbones broad. Give a big stretch to the front side of the body. And then a gentle forward fold. And sit up. Switch the cross of your legs so the leg that was in front is now in back. And then fold forward once again. And then come up to sit. Make your way to a tabletop position, and that can either be in this direction or in this direction. I'm going to be in this direction for right now, but that's completely up to you. So now just a few cat and cows. On your inhale breath, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale breath, drop the head, lift the spine. So moving back and forth in between these two positions as your breath inspires. If you like to add a circular pattern here, or a side stretch by pressing the hips to the one side and the heart to the other, you can certainly do that. And now, left leg all the way out to the left. Come up to stand on the right knee and the left foot. Reach the left arm high to the sky. Stretch all the way over. Bring the right hand to the ground. Lift the left leg up. You can continue with the left arm overhead, bicep close to your ear. Now take the arm up high on purpose. Keep flexion in your left ankle. Drive the heel away from you while you pull the toes towards you. Now bend the knee, reach back for the foot. This can be from the inner edge or the outer edge of the foot. That's completely up to you. I'm going to let go of this once again. Drop the left foot to the ground. Continue the right arm overhead. Fold forward, tabletop. Inhale, breath. Belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, breath, cat-tail. Come back to child's pose on the bottom of the exhale. Inhale, pull up to tabletop. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, push the floor away.
Drop the hips back, child's pose. One more time, inhale, breath, tabletop to saggy cow. Exhale, breath, cattail stretch, drop the hips back. Come up through center, tabletop. Now the right leg all the way out to the right. Come up to stand on the right foot, the left knee. Reach the right arm all the way up. Stretch over, left fingertips to the ground. Lift the right leg. Continue with the right arm overhead, getting a really long stretch along the whole right side of your body. Now take the arm up high to the sky. So right fingertips are stacked on top of the left. Drive the right heel away. Pull the right toes towards your face. Bend the right knee. Reach back to the foot. Whether it's the inner or outer edge is completely up to you. And then release. Right foot down to the ground. Stretch the arm overhead. All the way back into the center. Sink your hips back, child's pose. Stretch your fingertips really far forward. So much so that you cannot really feel any part of your arms on the ground except for the tips of your fingers and the base of your palm. Everything else is up off the ground. Now keeping your fingertips really stretched forward, walk them both over to the left. Keep your right sitting bone heavy into the ground. Walk them back through center. These fingertips are still reaching really far forward. And then move both hands over to the right edge of the mat, getting a stretch along the left side waist. Sink your left sitting bones down heavily. My cat wants to join the party. Come back to center. Now let's go for a little bit of a shoulder opener. Thread your right arm underneath your left armpit. You can either bring your third eye or your right ear to the ground. Right palm faces up to the sky. Left fingertips still reach far forward. Come back through center, right fingertips reach forward. Now the left arm goes underneath the right armpit, and whether it's your third eye or your left ear that touches the ground is completely up to you. Left palm to the sky. And then come back into child's pose. Find your way to downward facing dog, however it is you like to get there. Establish a pose. Oh, I'm going to tuck this in. Establish a pose here, this down dog, where you feel very supported. You can feel the pads of your fingers and the base of your palm down on the ground, and whatever part of your feet are touching the ground, they are solid. You can keep a bend in the knees, completely fine, especially if your hamstrings or low back is tight. Inhale high to the tiptoes, roll out to high plank. Have a sense that your shoulders are stacked directly over your wrists, and you're as long through the body as you possibly can be. Now, the shoulders are directly over your wrists. Keep them there and move back to down dog. This might feel like a longer down dog than you're used to, but this is probably what's appropriate for your body. Inhale out to high plank once again. And then move into right side plank. You have options here. You can bend the left knee and stack the foot in front of the right. You can stagger the left foot in front of the right. You can stack the feet. You can lift the left leg. If you choose to lift the left leg, maybe you want to go into a wild thing. Come back to a three-legged dog. Lift the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Pull your left knee forward. Plant the foot down between your hands. Hang out here for a second. Let the hips be heavy, the heart be light. If the floor feels far away, a block can be very powerful here. And put a bend into your crescent lunge. Come all the way up. Or the bend of your back knee. Sorry about that, that was a little confusing. Wrap your left hip forward, your right hip back slightly. Bring your arms out straight to a T. Now, straighten the back leg and hinge your upper body forward. The knee stays over the ankle. So it's almost like you're the propellers of an airplane for a little kid's toy. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, you move just your ribs. Your arms have stayed in that same position. Might not twist very far, but you're twisting with integrity. Come back to crescent. Step forward, lift the right leg, hug it into your chest. Push the heel forward. Bend your knee. Stretch back to airplane. Drop the right hip down. Press into the outer edge of your left leg. Oops. Come up to stand, foot to the ground. That was very wobbly for me. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stretch your spine long. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back to plank. Shoulders right over the wrists. Low belly muscles lift towards the spine, zip towards your chin. Left side plank. So again, you have the same options here. Whether you stagger the feet, stack the feet, bend the right knee, place the foot down in front of the left leg, or you lift the right leg. And maybe wild thing is something that's in your practice. And both hands down to the ground, three-legged dog. Pull the right knee forward, foot down between the hands. Crescent lunge. Put a bend in the back knee as you come up. Just so for this beginning crescent lunge, you're able to stack hip over knee on the left leg, knee over ankle on the right leg, wrap the left hip forward, draw the right hip back, hugging in sensation between the hips. Arms go up, and then move to a T, as if you're pressing air down. Begin to straighten the back leg, hinge forward. Long diagonal line from left heel to the crown. Big breath in, and use the exhale to move your ribs towards the right. Arms still stay in this position that you gave them at the very beginning of this crescent lunge. Come back to center. Step forward. Hug your left knee in. to left heel forward. Bend the left knee, reach all the way back, stretch the leg long. Airplane. Elongation of it. The outer edge of the right leg. Slightly drop down the left hip. If a block is going to be supportive for you here, have a block, no problem. And pull the leg up and forward. Put the foot down. Chair pose. Sink the hips back. Right now you can keep your hands on your thighs. Low belly muscles lift towards your spine, zip towards your chin. You can raise up high to your tippy toes. From here, if you want to reach the arms up, go ahead. Keep the breath flowing. Hold on to this pose. Your legs should be very fired up. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Head down, forward fold. If a back bend feels better for you, you can stand up and have a back bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift a little bit forward and down. Just a couple of inches. Hug your elbows close to the sides of your body. And then all the way down to the ground. Wrists right under elbows. Move them back if that's not happening. Tops of the feet press down. Inhale, breath, cobra. Nice and slow. Use the entire breath to come up. The entire exhale to go back down. Inhale, come up. Maybe it's a little higher, maybe not. Exhale, back down. Inhale, up to the extent that your back bend goes right now, whether that's cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Breath in, breath out. Let's do some planking to get a little fired up. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, out to high plank. Right leg stays lifted. Inhale, all the way up and back. Lift the leg up, foot to the ground. Left leg rises. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, foot down. Right leg lifts as you breathe in. High plank, right knee, right elbow. Up and back when you breathe in. Foot to the ground as you breathe out. Left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Up and back. Foot to the ground. Right leg lifts. Pull towards the left elbow. Up and back. Foot to the ground. Inhale, left leg. Come forward to the right elbow with the left knee. Up and back. Foot to the ground. Big breath in. And let it out. Right leg rises as you breathe in. Knee to nose. Pull forward. Hug it in. As if your thigh can touch your belly and your shoulders are right over the wrists. Softly as you can, plant the right foot down. Crescent lunge. If you've got the flexibility or the mobility in your low back and your hamstring, you can have a straight back leg. If you'd still like a bend in the back knee, that's totally fine. If that gives you more space to have a neutral pelvis, that's what you should be doing. Reach the arms up. Interlace just the thumbs. Pull the arm bones back. This is a back bend that's happening between your shoulder blades. If you're feeling this exclusively in your low back, release out of it a bit. You can look up at the sky if that's available. Hands to heart center. Warrior 3 or Dekasana. Airplane or Dekasana. Warrior 3 if you want to have the arms forward. If you want a fingertip on a block, have a fingertip on a block. Totally fine. Lift the left leg from the smile of your butt. And then slowly, half moon pose. Left hip rolls up on top of right. Right leg stays neutral and points directly to the head of your mat. Slow movement into Warrior 2. Adjust your stance when you land. So that's lengthwise and widthwise on your mat. Set yourself up in such a way that right knee is directly over the ankle. You can feel the outer heel and the inner big toe of your left foot. The sensation of drawing your right heel towards your left foot, your left heel towards your right. So you're hugging the feet in towards each other, creating a lot of energy on the inner thigh line. Flip your front palm. Radiate the warrior. Stay deep and heavy in the pelvis. Okay, come back to Warrior 2. Change nothing about your legs and move into extended side angle. Come back to Warrior 2. Reverse Warrior. Still, legs have stayed the same. Now you can straighten the front leg, get a side stretch on the right side waist. So when you come up through neutral, keep all of this length on the right side waist. Lift it up. And as you move through to triangle, focus on hanging on to that length. When you can't reach any further, drop the right arm down, reach the left arm up. And both hands turn towards the head of the mat. Maybe you just do a little bit of stretching. I know my inner thigh line gets a little tight as I do these things, so I just stretch it out a bit. And then fold the body forward into the center edge of the long edge of your mat. Turn 10 toes to face towards each other. Forward fold. Now if your head easily touches the ground when you do this, walk your feet a little closer together. You'll get more length, more space for your spine to drop down. And then tabletop spine. You can put the palms or the tented fingers on the ground right below you, and one knee then the other. We'll do this up high. Just stay up high. You don't have to go very far. Bending one knee, then the other, shifting the hips from side to side. Now maybe you've got a little space and you can go a little lower. Maybe you even lift the opposite toes up when your hips are down low. turn the left toes towards the left head of your mat. Step the right toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Utkatasana, chair pose. A lot of weight into the heels right now, but transfer that weight so it's in your hips, and then press into the balls of your feet. Lift your heels up. Your hips stay heavy. The balls of your feet are heavy. Fingertips are light. And then forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. High plank position. Lower to chaturanga or all the way to the floor. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing. Breath in, breath out. Keep the breath flowing, stay in your down dog. If you'd like some movement here, have some movement. Lift the left leg high as you breathe in. Exhale, knee to nose. Hover right here, shoulders right over your wrists. Pull the thigh up and into your torso. Slowly plant the foot down between the hands. Come up for a crescent lunge. You decide. First things first, hips wrap forward so you feel like the headlights of both your hips are pointing directly in the same place. If that means you need a bend in the back knee, put a slight bend in the back knee. If you can straighten the back leg and still maintain the headlights forward and no crunchiness in your low back, go for it. I usually need a bit of a bend. It's up to you. Interlace your thumbs the opposite way, so the opposite thumb is on top. Move the arm bones back. This is as if you're offering up the center of your chest to the sun. Come back in through center, warrior three, or airplane. Oops. Keep the breath flowing. Lift from the hamstring where it attaches to your thigh bone. If a block is going to be helpful for you, have a block. Woo. Open to half moon. Right hip rolls up on top of the left. And then slowly into warrior two. Once both feet land, adjust your stance as is appropriate for you, lengthwise, widthwise, all the ways. Left knee stacks over the ankle. Feel the outer heel, inner big toe of the right foot. Heaviness into the pelvic bowl. Light, easy through the crown. Even though you're heavy, your head is very heavy, imagine it's just really a light floating balloon. Nice and easy. Arms reach wide. Press the air down. Resist the air above you. Extended side angle from here. Opening the torso to the whole of the right side of your room. Trying to have the hips go in that direction too. That's probably far more challenging. Keep the legs neutral. Come back to warrior two. Hold here. Draw the left heel towards the right heel. Trying to bring the energy into the center to help you rise tall. Now you can reverse the warrior. Straighten the front leg. Nice long stretch on the left side body. Come up through neutral. Keeping all the length on the left side of the waist. Reach for triangle. And you cannot reach the left arm any further forward. It just needs to drop straight down. Right arm to the sky. There's a sense of flatness to the right side of your waist as opposed to a rainbow shape. It should be nice and long and strong. And then both hands to the ground. Maybe you want to do that hybrid kind of stretch that I kind of like. Some people like it more like a full-on hamstring, traditional hamstring stretch. I kind of like this hybrid. And then fold forward to the long edge of your mat. Forward fold. And Skandasana from up high. So at first, just keep it high. Not shifting the hips very far from side to side, just a little bit. And then as your hips loosen up, you can get way down in it, trying to keep the torso parallel to the ground. Can get low to the ground, just needs to stay parallel. Turn the right toes towards the head of the mat. Step back to plank. All the way down to the ground. Laying prone on the ground. I'm going to stop and talk to you for a moment. Laying prone on the ground, have your arms long towards your feet, palms face the ground, tops of the feet press down into the ground as well. Tip of the nose just grazing the ground. Press your feet down so much that your knees lock and lift off the ground. From here, continue to press the pads of the fingers down. Lift the arm bones in the back of your head up. You're already in locust pose doing this. Maybe you lift the feet. You can continue the fingertips on the ground or you can reach them back. Bend the elbows, wrist to the ground, right underneath the elbows. Push the floor away. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Half pigeon pose. Let's start with the left leg first today. Lift your left leg high to the sky. Pull the knee forward towards your nose. Plant the knee down near your left thumb. Have the outer edge of your left thigh parallel to the outer edge of your mat. Tuck your right toes, lift the leg up, draw your right hip forward, then put the knee down. You can untuck the toe then if you'd like, or you can keep it tucked if that's more your preference. So, from here, pigeon pose I would say is one of the ones my hips don't necessarily love this, so this takes me a little while to get into. I stay up high for a long time. If you have the flexibility or the availability in your hip to lay down, make sure that your torso is touching your thigh the whole time you go down. No rounded back here. This one asks for a long spine, an open collarbone situation. So maybe this is where you stay today. Sometimes this is where I stay, all the way up here. Maybe you're down here. Maybe you are able to take it all the way down into a full half pigeon. Maybe you put your head on a block. Stack your hands. Put your head there. Lots of options. Keep flexion in the right ankle or in the left ankle for sure.
And be clear about where this pose is happening for you. Make sure you're working with it there. Not trying to go beyond, but taking yourself right to your edge. And then tuck the right toes. Come to your three-legged dog. Lift the left leg. Move it around as you like. Some people like circles. Some people like to just open the hip. Whatever it is you like. Right leg rises as you breathe in. Knee pulls forward. Plant the knee near the left thumb. Outer edge of the right thigh is parallel to the outer edge of your mat. Tuck your left toes. Stretch back through the heel. Move your left hip forward. Then drop the leg down. Flexion in the right ankle. Really confused me that I did the left side first. You sit up very, very tall. Maybe open the chest. Test it. See if you can go down with this long, tall torso. If you feel like you need to round in your thoracic spine, stay up high. You're going to get way more benefit out of the pose if you stay up high. Go down when the space is available for you to fill. Plant the palms, tuck the left toes, all the way up and back, three-legged dog, bend your knee, open your hip, whatever it is you like to do. Come through to sit. I'm going to sit facing forward. You can sit long edge of your mat. Let's do a simple twist. Left leg long, right leg up and over. Now you can keep the left leg long or you can bend the left knee as long as your right hip can sit fully down on the ground. Either way is fine. Keep the right hand behind the body, reach the left arm up. As you exhale, you can go into a twist. Wrap the left elbow around the right knee. Get tall as you breathe in. Twist as you breathe out. As much weight in the right sitting bones as the left. Come back through to center. Bow to the opposite side. Come back up. Right leg long, left leg over. You can choose whether you keep the right leg just like this or whether you bend the right knee and hug it in. As long as your left sitting bone can sit fully down on the ground, you're fine. Left hand behind, right arm reaches way up. Big breath in. As you twist, right arm around the left knee. Get tall as you breathe in. Twist further as you breathe out. Both sitting bones heavy into the ground. And then come back to center. Bow to the opposite side. Come back up. Now you can lay on your back. I guess I'll do this too. Bend your knees for bridge. You should feel like your knees and your feet are about 6 to 8 inches apart. That's about hip width distance for most people. Some of the cues that I hear is that you could graze the back of your heels with your fingertips. That's not so for every single body. I just say have a sense that when you get into your bridge pose where you've lifted your hips up, you feel as though your knees are stacked directly over your ankles. If you're not sure, ask somebody to look at this for you or take a picture of it. And you'll know for your own body where this feels appropriate. And this can be a restorative pose just like this. Some people like a block underneath their sacrum. Some people like to go into wheel pose here, completely fine. If you're looking to have more shoulder opening, I'd raise the arms up above the head. This is a nice passive shoulder opener.
And then release. Hug your knees to your chest. Give them a good hug in. Maybe even use the arms. Legs to the sky. Let them drain out. Drop the arms to the side. Winding down process. And bend your knees. Drop the legs to the ground. Savasana. Completely let go of everything physical. Move into your breath body, where you're not trying to control the breath. You just notice the breath. Feel the beautiful rhythm of it as it moves in and out, that wave-like pattern that never ends. Take a slow breath in. Soften your jaw, let it out. Movement wherever it's invited in your body. Eventually your head side to side, and stretch your whole body long. Hug your knees to your chest, and move to whatever side of your body is most supported. You can come up to a seated position. A moment of gratitude for yourself and for the movement that your body can take, whatever that is. These are unprecedented times where the world is a very different place, and hopefully you can focus on the things that are positive and are good in your life. While many things have been taken away from our daily availability, there's still so many things that we have to be grateful for. Hopefully you're looking at those today and carrying them close to your heart. Namaste. Oh, by the way, West End Yoga is not able to offer classes in the studio. So we are offering them here for free, and we hope that you're taking advantage and sharing them with your friends. If you would like to support the studio, you could go to this website,
patreon.com/West End Yoga. You can make a one-time contribution or a monthly contribution, anything at all if you're able. We will be here and we hope to see you again in the studio very soon. Be well.